Yo, what's going on, beautiful people? The Black Hokage here, aka TBH, and to be honest, 2022 is here, and February will be a crazy month for gamers with releases such as Dying Light 2, Sifu, Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring, and more. January's dry, so why not use this time to reflect on what I enjoyed last year? Before we get into that, friendly reminder that I am giving away a new Xbox Series S and 3 months of Game Pass for free, and if you want to enter the giveaway, all you gotta do is simply tap the link in the description box below. Now, with that reminder out of the way, I'd like to state a disclaimer. The 10 games that I'm going to mention are my favorite 10 games of the year. Art is subjective, so my 10 might not line up with your 10, and that's okay. Also, keep in mind that nobody is capable of playing every game. Everyone's time is limited, but still feel free to share your favorite games in the comment. Just keep the discussion respectful. That's all I ask. So coming in at that 10 spot is Bandai Namco's Scarlet Nexus. To be fully transparent, I have not completed this game. I just started playing it, and I'm about 15 hours in, but I've played enough to confidently say that this is one of the better games of 2021. But because I haven't completed this game at the time of this recording, I didn't want to give it higher than a 10 slot, but I will say that this game is slept on, and I'm glad that I tried it on the Game Pass. Scarlet Nexus is an original story where you can choose from one of two heroes. The story's a bit complex, but a dumbed down version is you basically battle evil in the Facebook metaverse. It's a deep RPG with combat similar to Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, but I don't think it's as good as those games, but it's respectable in its own right. If you're an anime fan, you're gonna love the storyline, and the voice acting is great as well. And because this is on the Game Pass, you don't even gotta buy it if you're already subscribed. So at the number 9 spot is Amazon's New World. New World is an MMO, and I'm not a huge fan of the genre, so you know it had to be something special to catch my attention. So what exactly is it? Well, it's the fact this game features proximity chat, and I'm a troll. I'm not saying it hasn't been used in MMOs before, but what I am saying is this is the first time that I've seen it in MMO. This simple feature alone made it feel like this world was alive. You got that sense of community. You could literally talk to anyone in the world by pressing the push to talk button, and this created a lot of funny moments with trolls and even moments where I even got some help when I needed it. The world is gorgeous. You have full control over the combat. The weapon leveling system is unique. It's based off what weapons you use the most, and there isn't a monthly fee to pay. I just wish this game had mounts. So coming in at that number 8 spot is House of Ashes. This is the third title in the Dark Pictures anthology. This is a survival horror story-driven game, and in the center of it all is co-op. I'm a sucker for a solid co-op experience, and this is one that just did it for me. You play as some soldiers who got trapped in a cave with some ancient evil, and it's up to you and your co-op partner to figure out what's really going on and escape with your life. The story is full of suspenseful moments, plot twists, and decisions to be made that affect the story. I also enjoyed the fact that this game is short and sweet, and it's only $30. So for the number 7 spot, I'm throwing a bone to Pokemon Unite. Ever since Fortnite killed Paragon, MOBAs they haven't hit the same for me. Pokemon Unite dropped on the Switch, and the gang reunited to push mid, baby. And yes, that was a pun. Fuck you. This game is great because it puts a nice spin on the MOBA formula by simplifying it all. The matches, they don't last forever either for those of you who are time constrained. One thing that I don't feel is mentioned enough about this title though is the mobile version. This game also runs on iOS and Android devices, and not only does it look just as good as the Switch version, but it runs just as well, and there's cross progression, and this game is free to play. This is a title that does have some issues with its item system, but overall, this is a fun time with friends. So the number 6 slot goes to Ark's Guilty Gear Strive. As someone who's tired of the FGC being dominated by the same old games, it was nice to see an OG like Guilty Gear finally make some noise. I always felt like the series never got the love that it deserved, and last year, it began to break through finally. Visually, this game is stunning. Mechanically, it's as masterful as ever, but what I can't stress enough is this game's netcode. Strive is the gold standard for online fighters right now. Playing Strive online is the closest thing you'll get to couch multiplayer and a fighter that's online right now. Now, Riot's Project L is coming for the crown, but right now, Strive is the smoothest fighter on the market. It puts Street Fighter to shame. Strive also low-key dropped one of the best OSTs in recent memory for a fighting game, or period actually. Matter of fact, cause our heart is blazing, cause our heart is blazing. I'm sorry for that. Let's just move on to the next one. Now coming in at that number 5 slot, it's being tossed to Halo Infinite. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I had zero faith in this title. You can find plenty of footage of me slandering this game before it came out. The initial reveal was lackluster, and 343 hasn't dropped a good Halo game before Halo Infinite, in my opinion. But 343 dropped this game's multiplayer component for free out of nowhere, and it set the internet on fire. I have not stopped playing the multiplayer since it dropped. It feels like 343 finally got the pacing down right, and this game just runs buttery smooth. Ask any fan of Halo and they'll tell you this just feels like Halo. I still don't care about Master Chief's story, but I enjoy the multiplayer so much that it's no way I could leave this game off my personal list. So for number 4, I'm gonna go with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I just dropped my Guardians of the Galaxy review the other day, so if you saw that, then you should be no surprise that this game is on my list. This was the dark horse of 2021. It plays like a mix of Final Fantasy VII Remake and Mass Effect. I'm not saying this is as good as those games, but it's respectable in its own right. Mixing the fact that this game has an original, funny, heart-filled story with amazing visuals, and easily the best soundtrack of any game of 2021. Granted, it is licensed music. They kind of had an unfair advantage, and here you have a winner. So if you're in the market for a linear single-player story-driven experience, then this one is right up your alley. I'll leave a link to my full review in the description box below if you want to hear more in-depth thoughts about Guardians of the Galaxy. And the number 3 slot goes to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Now, I've been hard on the PS5 this past year for its lack of exclusives, but one glimmer of light is Rift Apart. This game takes advantage of the PS5's SSD, and because of it, it has some of the smoothest transitions in gaming. Mechanically, this game does nothing original in my opinion. I'll go as far as to say Insomniac dropped the ball with the introduction of the new playable hero Rivet. She's just a Ratchet skin. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That sounds weird. She's just a Ratchet skin. She's a Ratchet. Anyways, she does the same exact things as Ratchet. They missed an opportunity to introduce some new gameplay themes, but what this game does do well though is it is very polished. It's a very polished experience. This game knows what it is and it plays to its strengths. It's a fun, charming platformer with wacky weapons taken to the next level thanks to the power of the PS5. Now you want to hear about a platformer that did take risks? It's my number 2 game, Psychonauts 2. Unlike Kingdom Hearts 3, Psychonauts 2 was worth the 10-year plus wait. This game is easily one of the most charming of 2021. It's a game that has no shortage of style and originality. This is a game that deals with the concept of mental health in a very unique manner. It's a platformer where all the levels are designed with a mental health theme in mind. It's a cool way to speak on a serious topic. The platforming in this game is snappy and tight, boss fights are epic, and the voice acting is top tier. Everyone should play Psychonauts 2, including you. Now before we get to my favorite game of 2021, I have a few honorable mentions. Those include Apex Legends. This game isn't new, so I didn't want to list it, but we're currently in Season 11, and I am still playing the hell out of this game. Shout out to Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Once again, not a new game, but this is the best way to play Mass Effect if you haven't played it already, or even if you have, because Lord knows I've beaten it 12 times now. It's a gorgeous remaster that includes the entire original trilogy with all its DLC. Back 4 Blood had a moment last year. It's the new co-op zombie title that's a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. It was made by the team that worked on the original Left 4 Dead, so it plays just like Left 4 Dead, but I'm not a big fan of Left 4 Dead, so that's why I didn't list this Left 4 Dead spiritual successor. That being said, I still had some fun with this game with the boys, so I had to shout it out. And I would shout out Kenna, but I haven't touched that game yet. I haven't had the time, but it's next on the bucket list. I just don't want to talk about games that I haven't played. I know some of you probably be like, why didn't you talk about Returnal? I don't like that game. I don't want to sweat that damn hard on a single player game, but whatever. Shout out to Returnal too. And that concludes my honorable mentions. So fun fact, I scripted this video, and for some reason, I wrote a script for everything from 9 all the way up to 2, and then I wrote my honorable mentions, but I forgot to write a script for my number 1 game. Lucky for you, it was my favorite game of the year, and I don't need a script for that, so I'm just gonna come off the top of the dome for this one. My favorite game, my number 1 game of 2021 was It Takes Two. Now this comes from the same studio that brought us A Way Out. That's the guy that stood on the stage and he said, fuck the Oscars, if you know what I'm talking about. It's a co-op game where you play as a husband and a wife. Well, one of you plays the husband, the other one plays the wife, whoever. It's a co-op game. Basically, they have a kid and they're going through a divorce, and the kid is upset that the parents are getting a divorce, so some magic voodoo happens and ends up shrinking you two. The husband and the wife have to navigate themselves through the world of their current neighborhood that they live in, and it creates all these interesting and fun puzzles. What makes this game great is it has some of the best level design that I've seen in a long time. Very creative, and what I love about it is this is a co-op experience with co-op in mind. All the puzzles and the platforming has 2 people in mind, so you will not be able to beat this game by yourself. You need somebody to play with, and you have to work together. So what happens is this game creates a great dialogue between you and a friend, or you and a significant other, whoever you choose to play this game with, and it just creates like this heartwarming, fun story. Each level has different themes that involve love. By the end of the game, basically, you're teaching each other how to love one another again. I don't know. It was a fun, corny way to tell a love story about motherfuckers that's fighting, basically saying we're better together than, you know, apart. And I gotta give flowers when they do. A lot of times we complain that games aren't unique or innovative anymore, but then people don't take the time to actually try the games that are actually doing something unique and innovative. And that's why it stood out to me. Not only do I love platformers, but this is a very unique platformer. And then on top of that, this game is like, it's only 30 bucks and you get 2 codes, okay? So this game it's customer friendly. You don't need to buy 2 copies. When you buy it, it'll give you another code that you can give to a friend, and then you guys can play together. So support smaller studios that create unique experiences. I'm always going to go for that versus these big AAA, but unless the big AAA, because God knows God of War Ragnarok, Lord knows I need that. But it's not about Ragnarok right now. It's not about those super big AAA experiences. We're talking about It Takes Two, which is one of my favorite games of the year. Just to recap, it has a great story, amazing level design, co-op, only 30 bucks, and you get 2 copies of the game for 30 bucks. And the experience, I want to say, based off your skill level, it'll probably take you like 10 to 15 hours. I think we beat it like in 12 hours. So it's a good meaty game. And that's my favorite game of the year. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my favorite games of 2021. Share in the comment section below, what are your 10 favorite games? Or if you didn't have 10, do your top 5, 3, whatever you played. I know people have lives. You don't necessarily always have the time to play all these games. Friendly reminder, I'm also giving away an Xbox Series S. If you want to win that, tap the link in the description box below. It's a Series S with the Game Pass. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.